and I will smite thee, and take thy hand from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines to this day unto the fowls of the air, and of the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. Amen.
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 Thank you,
Now,
Jesus.
like I said, most of the time when people, when people read this, we all know, the story of David and Goliath, he's overcoming giants and all that stuff, which is true. But I want to kind of take it a different concept today. The Lord's really been kind of dealing with me about certain things. And as we read the story, or the scriptures, 1 Samuel 17 through 22, we see that David was in the field feeding his father's sheep, when his father sent him to take food and to check out on his brothers at the same time he was there. So he went on a chariot and took food and things to his brothers, and they were all gathered around. And at the same time that he's doing this, he greets his brothers, salute them, and he hears everybody talking about this giant, this champion of Philistines named Goliath. And verses 23 through 30, we read that Saul, the king, he offers riches, great riches, and the hand of his daughter, and the house to be free, if they would just fight this. And everybody's scared. Nobody wants to fight him. So David takes the challenge. And he tells of the stories of how he defeated the lions and the bears, and how God was with him through all this stuff. So as we read 31 through 38, he takes the challenge. And in 47 through 51, we see that David slays Goliath. And I'm going to read again in verse 46 real quick. And then I'm going to get on with the message. It says, "This day will the Lord deliver thee into my hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel." And of course, as we know, the story goes on, he slings it and hits him with one rock, and boom, knocks him out, he's dead. Every time I read this, the Lord, he blesses me with a different concept of the story of how we overcome giants. And like I said, we've had many messages, especially long since it's been in the Lord. You've probably heard many ways this has been brought about, the history of it and everything. But what I want to do today is I want to look at how we solved it, how people perceive this situation. And when we first look at David, when David comes, everyone sees him as a shepherd boy, or his brothers see him as their little brother. So in their minds, that's what they see, that's what they perceive. They don't see a champion, they don't see somebody who's fixing to slay a giant. They see David as like I said, as a shepherd boy, or as their little brother. And then Saul, now he saw him as a soldier. He sees him as this young man, who's brave, and he's going to stand up and kill the giant. So he sees him as a soldier, so the first thing he wants to do is for him to wear his armor. So he gives him a sword, and he gives him his armor, and of course we read that David, it doesn't fit, it's falling off on him because he's a little guy, Saul's a big guy.
Right.
So he says, I can't wear this, and so he throws it down. And then of course when Goliath sees him, he sees him as a joke. And then he sees him as being unworthy. He's like, you come as me as a dog? You think I'm a dog, that you're going to send somebody like this? And in the scripture where it says that he disdained him, he actually means that he spoke out that this is unworthy. This guy ain't even, I ain't even going to waste my breath on this young kid. Why'd y'all send him? Is this a joke? So David, or Goliath saw David as a joke. And of course we all know what happens, but I'm going to get back to that in a minute. I want to share a story with you about, which I love telling stories, but do you ever think, or do you ever do, we perceive people, we view things, we view people as a certain way.
Right.
You know, like, say for me, for example, I'm the youngest of 6, so